Good morning, Jim Hodges here. Cody here. Cody is a little over a year old. He's a GoldenDoodle that came in for our residency program. He's another smart dog, has done everything we've asked of him, has performed in flying colors what we've asked to do. You know, the biggest thing, again, very smart. What do I say about smart dogs? Smart dogs, real training begins when you want them to do something they don't want to do. When those moments arise with a smart dog, you've got to make sure you're in a position to make them do. Believe it or not, part of this training is all about leadership. It really is. We do obedience, but the leadership part is what's most important. The leadership part is what allows us, when we're doing obedience, to ask him to do something and praise him in the moment. To ask him to do something, if he does it, we bite him in the moment. It tells him that we have what it takes to lead. Not sometimes, but all the times if we ply our trade correctly. So what primary thing that Cody came to us for besides general obedience is he was a leash puller and he was hesitant to come. We're going to go through this. I'm going to talk about come a little bit more when we get there, but listen to my tone of voice, watch my hand signals, okay? Let's see where we go. If he messes up or if I mess up, we're going to fix it and keep right on going. You know, he's only been here 2 weeks. We're learning how to learn. We're setting up precedent for the rest of his life. Okay? Thank you. Hey, buddy, you ready? Let's go. Atta boy, good boy. So, loose leash with us. See how loose I am right now? I tell people we don't want dogs out in front of us. When they're out in front of us, they're leading the walk and they're subject to whatever's happening in the world. Okay? Right now, we want him here. We don't want to walk him like that. It's got to be loose. As you become the leader, as he becomes controlled and he understands what you want, it's up to you if you want him to walk out in front of you. When that does occur, and if you start having troubles with it, we may have to reel him back in to be beside us. But that's what the walk is for. You're a team. Teams don't separate, they're together. Let's go. Hear that tone of voice? Good boy. Hand signal. Sit. Good boy. Sit means sit. When I ask him to sit, he's got to sit. He's got to hold the sit no matter what I'm doing. If he did not sit or if he got up from the sit, I would go, no, tap and release, sit, good boy. So I would tell him no and bite at the same time. We bite and we say no, so no means something to our dog later in life, okay? We come back and praise to reaffirm that once we've got him what we want to do, he's doing it. Break, sit, break. Let's go. Good boy. Hand signal. Atta boy. Watch. Come. Good boy. Hand signal for come. He came and sat in front of me. I'll pat him and love him. Break. Break is my release. Whenever I release a dog, it's basically telling him he doesn't have to work, but he can't pick up stuff. Can we smell the ground? That's really up to you. If I didn't want him to, that's all I would do. I don't mind it a little bit. We had a big rain last night, so whenever it rains, there's a lot of moisture in the ground and it brings odors up. The big thing I don't want him to do is pick up rocks and smelling when we're actually working. On his off time, that's another thing altogether. Atta boy. Another thing about praise is when he's being a good boy and we like what he's doing, make it a point of praising him. We praise him 20 times more during the day than we ever bite. A bite meaning no. A bite may mean with a spray bottle with you at home. No. Could be if he was play biting. No. Even a tap on the shoulder. No. Okay? But then we always come back with a little bit of praise to build him back up and to not hold a grudge with what's going on. So you saw the come command. The come command is where he comes and sits right in front of me. That's on leash. Off leash is a little bit different, but it's still the same basic premise. Break. Sit. All right, one more time. Atta boy. Now, if I wanted to give him a treat, I could have had a treat in my hand, buried in my hand, or I could give it to him now. Good boy. Break. I give treats a lot on the recall command, and I give treats a lot when we're learning new commands, especially if a dog is treat motivated. But at some point in time, I start backing off treats. Doesn't mean I can't give my dog a treat the rest of his life. It just means that I want to make sure he's listening to me because I told him to, not because I'm holding something in my hand. I tell you, treat training is wonderful, but treat training will not get your dog in 99% of the time, 95 to 99% of the time, where you want to be. Why? Because there are other drives that define a dog. The food drive, the mating drive, the hunting drive. And any of those could outweigh the need for food at some point in time. But when we become the leader, he understands that we have to obey. He has to obey as long as we're leading. We never tell him something unless we know he's going to do it or we can make him do it, okay? Surprise, down. Ooh, a little slow, but I'll take that. He started going down, I can handle it. If he did not go down or if he continued to go that slow, I might come in and go, no, down, this being his head. Good boy, sit. Good, let's go. So, because he was a little bit slow that time, down. Good boy, I wanted to come right back and do it. Break. Stand, down. Down from in front is like this. Down from the side is like this. Good boy. Good boy. And come. He can come out of the down. He can come out of any command we want him to, okay? Break. Good boy. So, off leash, in his yard, in the house, when he doesn't have a leash on. Now, I've got a leash on for video purposes. He's not paying attention to us. He's playing with another dog. He's playing with a child. He's just playing with his own toys or what have you. And you want him to come. You don't just openly tell him to come. If he was chasing a butterfly right now and I told him to come, or chasing a cat, he may ignore me and continue to chase the cat. Maybe not purposely, but he ignored me. What did he just learn in that moment? He learned that there's a time and place when he hears that word, he doesn't have to listen. So what I try to do with my clients, and it works, I've been here over 20 years and it's working, okay? It's worked with all of my dogs, it's worked with my clients' dogs that are consistent, is he's out running around, I will use a treat, I'll make sure he understands the process of what that treat is all about, and when he's not looking at me and paying attention to me anymore, so see, I've got a captive audience right here. That's why it's a little bit cheating when he is on a leash like this, but that's okay. He's not paying attention. I'll go, Cody, hey, right here, man. Come. When did I tell him come? When he was committed to coming to me. Break. You go back and play the video again, you'll see I did all of these exclamations beforehand, and waving the tree, toy, whatever, just my hands. When he started coming to me and was committed to coming to me is when I told him to come. He got to me, I pet him, I love him, I give him a treat and tell him great, and then I release him. Why? Because when he comes to me, I don't want to do anything that seems negative to him. That means hooking him up and carrying him in because I got to go to work. That means punishing him for something he did over there. The come command has to be good and it has to be something he wants to do. Hope that makes sense. Break. Good boy. And you notice how whenever I break commands, I step away? What's he doing? Following me. That's another thing I do throughout trainings, in all of my trainings, is I give a command and when I release, I step away. Because that subliminally installs or instills that want to follow and to come with me, okay? Let's go. Sit. So the next thing that I'm going to do is the heel command. The heel command is nothing more than a glorified let's go. He's in a box right beside us, okay? Our job is to keep him in the box. His job is to stay in the box. When I start walking, he's beside me. If he starts to go out of the box, I tap him in whatever direction I need him to go to get him in the box, and then I reassure him. When I stop, he should sit. You ready, dude? Heel. Good. Right there in the box. Stop. Good boy. He's there. I can step away, and he's still holding it. Ready to go again? No. Sit. Heel. Good. I step off. Look how he's coming right back into my box. Now you notice how I went through that curve. Good boy. I went through that curve and I didn't stop in the curve. I waited till I straightened back out. That's so he can finish properly. Okay, if I stopped in the curve, he would be off kilter a little bit. Down. Good. Break. Place. Now, little secret, you might not have noticed it. But if you'll go back to one of the sequences of the heel, you'll see where he thought we were going to do the place command. Okay? Smart dogs will discover our patterns if we keep a pattern together. Smart dogs will want to go to certain default commands. Place is a fantastic command for Cody. He'll lay there, he'll sit there. He can lay, sit down, sleep. I don't care what he does as long as he stays on his bed. He can do this for a couple hours at a time. It's a nice, relaxing way to be with family and be controlled. You know, we have children present for him. The important thing is to put him on the place so he's not jumping on the children unless you're there to make the correct actions occur. The only thing I say about that is when we put a dog on a place, it's also up to you to make sure no one else torments him while he's on that bed. It makes it very difficult. Break. Okay, so we'll come back over here. He does have a favorite chair. Hup, load up. Same for the car. We can start to tell him when it's time to get off of his chair. Oh, good. Now, if he got on that other chair and he wasn't supposed to, it wouldn't have been off. It would have been no. But because, hup, come on, load up. Good boy. But because this was his chair, it's off. Hope that makes sense. So you've seen me go through all the commands. Typically the tap is always a tap and release. Okay, it's not pulling. When we pull, we do the work for our dog. When we tap, we make him think about what he's supposed to do. We praise him, we're upbeat in what we do. Our tone of voice changes on two commands, down and no. No, and we tap the leash, or down. Good boy. And he has to down, okay? And he has to stay there until I release him. The only other thing I can do is stay. I use stay a couple of different ways. I will not say sit stay, but because I don't want a dog to have to sit in a long time because I don't like to put that pressure on him. But when I tell him down stay, that means pack your bags. You're going to be there a while. You can smell the ground. You can chew a bone. You can lay on your side. I don't care whatever as long as you're there. You don't have to hang on my every word anymore, Cody, because I told you to stay. If I just told him down, as I've done here and worked through different commands, he needs to be paying attention to me. Stay means he can tune out. Also use stay at doors. Doors in the house and doors outside of the house. In the beginning, I have a leash. I'll tell him to stay. If he walks through, I'll pick up the leash. No, no, no. Walk him back through the portage. Tell him, no, 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 stay, and I immediately walk back. And before long, you'll not have a dog busting through the door. You can keep a dog in a room in a house when you need to go to the other room and you don't want him to go anywhere. This guy's super smart. This whole training cycle of dogs I have are very, very smart. The one thing that I notice, and I see with all dogs, when they're real smart like this and they're a little more mature, they're not quite as distracted by as many things. Yeah, a dog's instinctively distracted by other dogs and kids running around and cats. What do? We teach him how to behave in those situations. Again, you know who I am, Jim Hodges Dog Training, 336-945-3232. JimHodgesDogTraining.com is my website. If you need me, pick up the phone and call me. As far as Cody goes, I'm here forever. As long as God will have me on this earth, if you need a follow-up, all you have to do is come to me. Rachel or whoever might be training with me at the time, we will work with you for free, okay? We want to make sure you have a dog that will adapt and do the things you want in life, okay? Very important. Thank you so much. Take care. Good boy.